Hey guys, welcome back to my channel AG Motion Designs, and in today's video we are going to create this vector animation inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugin but with the help of Adobe Illustrator. Project files are available in the description, so you can download it later and practice it along with them. And if you are new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here we are in Adobe Illustrator. I have downloaded this file from FreePic. I'll provide you the link in the description so you can do check it out now. And now we have this nature file over here. Now we need to separate it each and every layer. So the simple way is simply go over here and click on this arrow, and as you can see we have groups. So again we will click on this arrow, and if you see all of them are divided into separate layers. If you can check out with the help of this eye, you will find that each and every layer is separated like this. So for that, what we need to do, see, as you can see we have this group over here. Simply click on this one, go to this three icons and click on release two layers and sequence, and select all the layers by holding shift. I'll simply drag and drop over here, and we have this extra layer, so I'll simply delete it. So if you see now, each and every layer is separated from each other. Now there are few portions are missing in this one, so I'll create one new layer and I'll choose my ellipse tool, and by holding shift I'll create one ellipse over here. And for the color we will choose somewhere around yellow because we need to create sun. And let's move this all up background, select this clouds, and let's move this over here like this. Let's select this and we will choose orange color for this, like that. Now I'm going to create a new layer, and let's zoom in a little bit. Now press P for pen tool in Illustrator. We will create this and this, and go to the colors and choose black color like this. Press A to select this direct selection. We will select this point and let's move this over here. Select this one and let's adjust it like this. So we will get something like that. Now hit Ctrl C, create a new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. Right click, transform, and choose reflect, and hit OK. And let's move this over here like this. So basically we need to bird animation for that, so that's why I have created this. Now after that I'm going to select this ellipse, and let's create one ellipse like this, and let's move this over here. Hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V to paste this ellipse over here. Let's bring this over here. Hit Ctrl C to copy, and hit Ctrl Shift V to paste in place, and let's move this over here, and we will decrease the size of it like this. And rotate it like that, and we'll adjust it over here. This is gonna be a very small, so it's okay if it's not perfect like this. So hit Ctrl 0 again, and I'll save this file. If you know how I created this file, I forgot to tell you. If you are gonna download it from the link, you will get this kind of file, and all you need to do, hit Ctrl A to select all of them, hit Ctrl C to copy, and then you can hit Ctrl N to create the another document. You can what we call name whatever it is you want, and I'll choose 1920 by 180, create, and this press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place, and by holding shift you can increase the size of it the way you want like this, and you can stretch it like this. Then you can delete this, and then we will follow the procedure of ungrouping everything. So this is how I created. I am sorry I forgot to tell you before, like that. So after that you need to save this file. Then we will go to the After Effects. We will create a new composition. We will call it as main animation. width is 1920, height is 1080, and duration is 30 seconds long, because this is a basic and simple animation for beginners, so we don't want much more duration, so I'll choose 10 seconds only. I mean 10 seconds is also pretty long, but it's okay. And then simply hit OK. Then choose grid and guide option and hit on title section. Then press Ctrl I on your keyboard so we can import our file. I'll go to the over here, and as you can see I have created this file, and in import as I'll choose composition, return layers and sizes, and simply hit import. So you'll get this kind of thing over here like this. Now double click to open this file, hit Ctrl A to select all of them, not all of them, but let's select this extra layers. Like this is our bird layer, so I'll select all of them. I'll press Ctrl Shift C and let's call it as bird and hit OK. And let's hide this thing for now. Now we will select all of them, we will click on this option, and then we will convert these layers into 3D like this. Now we will go to the 2 view. Instead of that I'll choose 2 horizontal views, and in this view what we will do, instead of top I'll choose left. Let's see. Now we will select this portion and let's see. Yeah, now this is the camera concept, so right click new, and I'm going to create one camera. Angle of view is 19, or you can choose 50, and let's see what we are getting over here. Let's see. If you select this camera and zoom out, as you can see we are getting this camera over here. If you see, we zoom out, what we will get. But if you see, this is just a plain animation, so for that what we will do, we need to adjust these things like that. So I'll select this. Let's move this not over here but towards the camera, so I'll move this over here like this. Then we will select this one. Check out by hiding on that you are selecting proper thing or not. Then we will move this a little bit we need some distance between these two, so let's move this over here. Then select this one. So we basically have to adjust the positions for each and every one, but make sure that they are distinct from each other. They should be at the middle. It's okay. This one, and let's move this over here. Like this. Now after that what you can do, if you want to do this quickly, by holding shift I'll select this remaining one, and all I need to do, simply move all of them like this. Then by holding control, deselect this 11, move them. Holding control, deselect this 12th one, again select all of them and move this over here. By holding control, deselect this, move this over here. By holding control, move this, deselect this, move this. Sorry, we have this one. Let's move this over here. By holding control, deselect this 15th one like this. Now double click on this camera, and if you reduce the view angle of view, you are getting something like this. Hit OK. Let's select this camera and let's move this backward like this. Yep. Now as you can see, we have adjusted this successfully. Now choose one view only, and we are getting this kind of view. Now what we need to do, we will select this background, press S, and we will scale it until it covers everything. Also we will select all of them, press S, and we need to scale the size of each and every one like this. Adjust the size like this. The moral of this thing is that we need to cover our whole screen, so like this thing is not covering whole thing, so you can stretch it out like that. Let's hide this so we can select this portion properly. So let's stretch it like this, and let's hide this. Then I need to stretch it out this also, so let's select this and hide this like this. We need to select this one, let's stretch it out and like that. Also we have this cloud, so let's move them over here. Select this clouds, let's move them over here. Select this cloud. If it's not selecting properly, you can simply hide them like this. See, as you can see, let's move this over here like this. Now select this camera, press P for position, and you can move this from set like this. Yeah, this is the proper position. Let's select this, let's hide this. We need to move this over here. Select this, move this over here. Yeah, now let's just select, unhide all of them. Now we will select this camera, press P for position, or simply double A, and if you reduce the angle of view or increase the angle of view, as you can see, adjust it accordingly. I think 37 looks good to me for this one. And now we will select this camera, hit P for position, create one keyframe, go to around 5 frames or let's say 6 frames, and we will move this camera forward like this. So we will get this zoom in effect like this. Lots too much, so let's move this over here. And if you want, then you can move this upward also like this. Hit U, select this, right click keyframe assistance and auto bezier. I'll choose linear and hit OK like this. As you can see, we are getting some trouble over here. So instead of animating this position, what I'll do, hit U, right click new, and I'll create one null object and hit enter, and let's call it as cam controller. Hit OK and convert this into 3D. Select this camera and make it apparent with this cam controller. Select this cam controller, press P for position, create one keyframe and go to around 6 frames and create another keyframe. And now we will go to the again to horizontal camera view. I'll select this cam controller and let's try to move this camera to z-axis like this at this point, and let's move this upward at these points, and let's see what we are getting. Yeah, this looks good to me. Let's choose active camera and one view, so we are getting something like this. And choose quarter resolution, I will choose full resolution like this, and make sure that in renderer you are in classic 3D. So now we can select this camera, hit double A. So and now over here you will get this option called depth of field. And now what it does, it's, let's see, go to the to horizontal view. I'll select this and I'll choose left like this. And if you see, if I increase the focus distance, as you can see, we are getting this extra line over here. This line indicates that this camera is going to focus on this portion only. So suppose if I move this over here and if I increase the aperture value like this up to let's say 400 and blur value to 200, as you can see over here, let's choose active one view. As you can see, this portion looks blur because my camera is focused on this portion. So let's choose again to horizontal views and let's move this camera over here so it will focus on this object, which is this one. So let's move this over here. As you can see in this, our camera is focused on this portion, and if you want, then you can increase the aperture value like that. And let's choose one view again and choose quarter resolution. So now as it goes, our camera will focus on our objects like this. Now let's hide this camera, and let's not hide this one because this is our main purpose. And now we will try to adjust the position of each and every one. So let's select this and let's hit enter and let's call it as 1, because this is our what we call mountains. Select this one, hit enter and let's call it as 2, and make sure to hide them. Select this one. As you can see, this is cloud and we want to animate this cloud, so I'll select this cloud, hit enter and let's call it as cloud, and I'll choose different color for this cloud like yellow, and let's hide this. This is our mountain, so select this one, hit enter, let's call it as 3. Let's hide this. This is also mountain, so let's select this, hit enter and let's call it as 4. Let's select this. This is cloud, so hit enter and let's call it as cloud and hit OK, and make sure to change the color to yellow, and let's hide this. Select this one, hit enter and let's call it as 5, hit OK and let's hide this. Select this one. This is also our ground, so select this one and let's call it as 6, hit OK and let's hide this. If you are not seeing this properly, simply go to the camera, hit AA, and you can on off this depth of field so you can see those things. Then you select this. This is cloud, so hit enter, let's call it as clouds and hit OK, and make sure to change the color. This is my mountain, so hit enter and let's call it as 7, hit OK and let's hide this. This is my cloud, and basically this is also cloud, and I'll call it as cloud. And this is my sun, so I'll increase the size of this sun a little bit, hit enter and let's call it as sun, hit OK. Select this, hit enter and hit BG. So why I did that, let's see. Now I'm going to select these clouds and make sure they are in yellow. Now select all of them and enable this. Let's see. You can enable this depth of field later also when you are going to render it out. It's not necessary that you should render it raw only. Now those who have 1, they are mountains, as I know, so I'll select those who are with numbers and I'll create one keyframe at the position of them and hit U, and I'll go over here at this point, or go over here, go to 15 frames. Let's move this over here. Select this. Let's move this over here. Not too much, but just a little bit. You need to change the position in random directions like this. So if you see, we are getting something like that. Now go to this position and select those position keyframes, and we will move those keyframes at this point like that. So if you see, we are getting a little bit position animation, and we will select the last keyframes and we will call it F9. So we will get a little bit smoothness when this camera is in the straight like this. Now hit U. Now we have to animate the clouds, so I'll select the clouds and I'll hit P for position, create one keyframe at the start. Let's see which cloud is which. Should be here like that, and go to the around 15 frames and we will select those clouds and we will move their position like this, and initially it should be here. Go to this point, select this cloud, let's move this over here. Initially it should be totally up to the backward. Select this cloud, this one, let's move this over here. Go to the start and totally over here. Select this cloud. At this point it should be here, and initially it should be over here. Then select this cloud, let's move this over here. Initially it should be over here like that. Now hit U and go over here. We will select this cloud keyframes and we will move this a little bit to the 7.15 or 8 frames, because this is gonna be my resting point for the animation. So I'll hit N. So we will get now cloud animation and plus this thing. Now select this cam controller. You can move this camera a little bit back like this, so we can see this animation. Now also we have one sun over here, so I'll move this sun downwards at this point. Press P for position, create one keyframe, go to around over here, and let's bring this up totally. Let's move this over here. Okay, so this is done. Now we will go inside this bird composition, hit Ctrl K, and to open the project setting, let's call it as birds. Hit Ctrl K again and choose white color for this one. Now select this layers, click on this option, press Ctrl Shift C to pre-comp it, and let's call it as bird only, and hit OK. Now go inside this bird composition, make this full resolution, and we will click on this icon called region of interest, and we will select this much portion. Now we will go to the composition and we will crop comp to region of interest. So as you can see, this is going to crop this thing. Now select this, press Y to move this anchor point to hand tool over here. Select this, press Y and move this over here. Now select both the keyframes, press S for scaling option, unlink these options like this, create one keyframe, go to around 20 frames and create another keyframe, and in 10 frames I'll make this -100, also make this -100 like this. Select those keyframes and hit F9 like this. By holding Alt, I'll move these keyframes over here. Now press P for position, create another keyframe, hit U, go over here, create another keyframe, go over here, select both, not both, but select this one, let's adjust the position, select this one, let's adjust the position over here like this. Now select those keyframe and hit F9 like this. By holding Alt, adjust it to 10 frames. Now Alt click on the stopwatch, type loop out expression, hit Ctrl A to select this, hit Ctrl C to copy, Alt click on the stopwatch again, hit Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V like that. So you'll get something like this. Now if you see in bird composition, we have this birds like this. Now let's move this over here, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, zoom in a little bit, hit Ctrl D, choose full resolution so we can check it out like this. If you play, we will get something like this. Hit Ctrl S to select all of them and click on this option. Now after that, what we will do, we will hit page down button 2 times, or let's say 3 times, select all of them. By holding Alt, I'll close this comp over here, let's move this over here, right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers, and hit OK, and zoom out, and let's increase this duration. So we'll get something like this. Let's move this over here by holding Alt, open bracket, let's move this over here, go over here like this. If we zoom out, we will get this kind of animation. Now go inside this bird comp, select both of them and make it a parent with this layer, this one. Press P for position, create one keyframe, hit U and hit U again, go over here, create another keyframe, and middle of this I'll select this and I'll hit the arrow, down arrow key 2 to 3 times like this. So we will get some animation that this is going to be a down. Select those keyframe, hit F9 and also apply loop out expression on them like this. So if you go in this birds, it looks like they are flying, and convert all of them into 3D like this. Now go to the nature comp and convert this into 3D. As you can see, we are getting this bird animation also. So press P for position and let's move them over here like this, and you can adjust the Z position of them also like this. create one keyframe, go to around somewhere around, let's say 8 seconds, and I'll zoom out and I'll move them all up to from here to here. So if you see, we will get this kind of animation for them. If it's in full resolution, we are getting something like that. Choose quad resolution. And if you want to decrease the size of them, simply right click, new, go to the null object, move this null object over here, select all of them and make it apparent with this null 2. Select this null 2, press S and scale it down, so it can decrease the size of them. And if you want, then select this, any one of them, hit Ctrl D, move them over here like that. One at the after that, select all of them, press P for position, create one keyframe over here, go to around 8 seconds. Now I'll select each of them randomly and I'll change their position, so it gives a feel that they are very random in their what we call flying thing, like that. So if you see over here, we will get something like this. And if you want there to change the position of entire animation, select both the keyframes. You can move them a little bit downwards like this, not in middle of that. Over here, select both the keyframes and move them downwards like this, so we will get this kind of animation. Also, if you want to add another one, so hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, right click, new, and create one null object. Select this and make it apparent with this null 1. Select this null 1 and convert this into 3D. Press R for rotation and we will rotate it on minus 90 or minus 90 degree, sorry, minus 180 degree. Press P for position. Let's move this over here, so we have this extra birds over here. So with the help of that, you can animate this kind of illustration with the help of 3D camera. You can select this cam controller, hit U, go over here, and if you want, this is too much zoom, so you can reuse the zoom out also, like that. So at least you can see the mountains also. So we will get this kind of animation. Let's zoom it a little bit further, like this. So yep, this is how you can create the mountain animations. And now a fun part is you can select this camera, hit AA and enable depth of field, so you will get this kind of effect throughout your animation. And if you want, then you can create one keyframe on focus distance. Like suppose you are at this point, create one keyframe on the focus distance. At this point you want to focus on sun, so you can zoom it totally up to your sun thing, that. So this is how you can create illustration animation. So that's it for today's video. We will see you in my next video. Until then, stay tuned. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. Until then, stay tuned.